My name is Joan Loganeski, and I'm going to show you how to make the bar that my husband refers to as the Joan bar. It's really quite simple. It's no big deal. You take 2 egg whites and you beat them until they're nice and foamy, which takes only a minute or so. Now I know I should have had these beaten before we put the camera on, but this way you get to see it in real time. Okay, egg whites are beaten. Now you take all of the dry ingredients. Now this is 3½ cups of quick oatmeal. Quick oats, 3½ cups. This is 1½ cups of dried skim milk. This is 4 cups of protein powder. Scoops, I'm sorry, I said cups. It's 4 scoops of protein powder, chocolate or vanilla. This is a good pinch of salt. This is a good teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. And this is about 1/2 cup of reconstituted dried cranberries. You just put the cranberries in a little bit of hot water for a few minutes, drain them off, and add them to the dry mixture. Now I like to use a whisk because that kind of gets everything blended a bit better. I start out with the whisk and then I go to the big spoon. So just make sure that you get everything incorporated so that you don't have cranberries in one spot and not another. Trick is just get everything mixed up well. And you can tell by looking at the bottom that it's pretty much mixed up at this point. Now you go over here to your liquid ingredients. You have your 2 egg whites that you've beaten up. You give them another little whisk. You take 1/4 cup of orange juice. You take 1 cup of unsweetened pancake syrup. No sugar.
Artificial.
My husband wants me to say artificial, but it's the pancake syrup, dietetic, artificially sweetened, no sugar. You've got a teaspoon of vanilla. And you've got 1 cup of unsweetened applesauce. And I like to use these little 4-ounce cups because this way I just open up what I need. I don't have to have a big jar sitting around. It's much more convenient. So it's 2 of these applesauce. Get a small 2 cups of the applesauce. Now we mix this together. That's good enough. Now we come back here with our dry mixture, get a big spoon, and we take our liquid, add it to the dry mixture. Mix it well. It'll be thick, like a cookie dough. And instead of cranberries, you could use raisins if you wanted raisins, or if there's any other dried fruit that you're particularly fond of, or you can mix them, you can do a little of everything, but 1/2 cup. Otherwise you're just adding more calories than you really want. Okay, now this is mixed. Then we take a This is 8 by 12, I believe, or 8 by 13 pan. And we liberally give it a spritz of a cooking spray. And we add our mixture. Even it out good, because you don't want to have thick bars at one end and thin bars at the other, or thick bars in the middle. So even it out is okay. Now you've had your oven preheated to 325, and my oven is at 325 now. You put it in, and it really only takes probably 35 minutes. And just until it's browned a bit around the edge. You don't have to, you don't want to overcook it, you don't want to dry it out. You just want to cook it long enough till you see a little brown around the edges, then you take it out. Now we'll let that cook, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how I cut it into bars. Okay, our 35 minutes are up, and my bars are brown around the edge. We have to let it sit out for a while to cool down. So in a few minutes we'll come back and I'll show you how to cut them. Alright, so you... Okay, I think we're cool enough. Now this is how I do it, to make 20 bars. I cut it across in the middle. Let me do this so I can see what I'm doing better. That looks pretty. And I use one of these pastry scrapers. It makes a nice clean cut. Then I cut it down the long way, down the middle. Then I cut each one of these quarters into 5 bars. So that will give you 20 bars. So let me show you. I'll do one and then I'll show you the bag that I put it in. Now these are the bags that I pack them in. They're the little snack plastic bags, the snack size. There it is, and you just take one at a time and put them in your bag, and I store them in the refrigerator. You can freeze them, but 20 will go in less than a week, so I keep them stored in the refrigerator in a plastic container, and that's really all that there is to it.